What's happening, guys? It's Jeremy with Remax Southern Shores, and today I gotta go run a couple errands for work, and I thought I would take you along, and I wanted to discuss with you today the true cost of living here in Myrtle Beach. So come along with me. We're gonna run a few errands. I gotta get some gas, some other things, and we're gonna talk about what it truly costs to live here in the area. Alright, so the first stop we got to do today is we have to first get some gas. And that's probably one of the biggest things that we have here in the area that is super affordable is the cost of fuel in our area compared to other parts of the country. I was speaking with a client over the weekend who was here on vacation from California, and gas out there was over $4 a gallon. And I about fainted when he told me that, because here in our area, gas is extremely affordable. In Myrtle Beach right now, today, I want to say gas is right around like $2.60, so it's extremely affordable. So one of the things that I've heard from talking to people around the country is that what I've found is here in the Myrtle Beach area, gas as a whole is about 15 to 20 cents cheaper per gallon than just about anywhere else in the country. I personally go to Sam's Club most of the time, so we get it for the absolute cheapest price. But today I actually stopped over here by Lowe's Food. It's right next to my office, so I can get a quick fill up. I do go shopping here. It's a grocery store, so we go shopping here too. It's a cool little spot. They have fresh brewed beer inside. It's funny, you see sometimes people walking around with their beer in a cup holder on their cart as they go along. So we're right now on International Drive. It's one of the newest cut-through roads in Myrtle Beach. As a local, you learn all of these shortcut roads to kind of get around the county without having to deal with all of the heavy traffic. But this is a quick little cut-through road. It's a shortcut that gets you from Carolina Forest basically over to Conway on Highway 90 in about 10 minutes. The one thing I will say is this: do not speed. If you speed on this road, the cops will get you. There's nothing on the road. There's no stop signs or anything, and there's hardly any ever traffic. So you just start cruising along 55, 60. Nope, it's 45, people. You will get pulled over in a heartbeat. So we just got off of International Drive and we're on Highway 90. And, we're heading down to this house. So talking about cost of living in the area, the other average costs and things that you need to think about are, your utilities. What do they kind of run in the area? I'm going to speak from my personal experience on the house that my wife and I own. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house. It's about 2,000 square feet. I have high ceilings in the living area, and it's a 2-story house basically. But my utilities, electric, are going to run me in the middle of the summer about $200 a month. Our house is all electric, so we don't have gas. So we're spending about $200 a month on electric. Our water and sewer is right around $55 to $60 a month. The only other expenses that we have in our neighborhood are included. It's kind of cool that way it's covered in our neighborhood. It's all part of our HOA fees. But if you had to go get trash, you're probably looking at about $30 to $35 a month for that. And if you had to get internet service, I know when we used to live in another place, it was about $65 a month for that. And so that should kind of give you a good idea of what the utility expenses are going to be for the area in comparison to other parts of the country. From what I've been told, it's much more affordable. I know when we lived up north, we spent a lot more than that on electric and heat because we had the oil and the burner and all that stuff, and it was a lot more expensive back in the day than what we spend here for sure. All right, so we're out here in Conway at Reflections. It's a small D.R. Horton community that they built out here Finished it up probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I sold a great little house. To give you an idea, most of these homes out here that you're gonna see, they're gonna be about 200 to 300,000 range now. But it's a great little spot, and you're close to Myrtle Beach without being in a Myrtle Beach address. From this development, we could be to the beach in about 20 minutes time. There's a great big lake that kind of runs around the entire community, and all the houses basically sit along it. But it's a great little spot. So you may be wondering, how's the market right now in real estate in Myrtle Beach? Well, this is my last listing that I have for sale. It's sold, it closed today. It's a great little house. We'll show you that in a second. But in comparison to last year at this time, I had about 10 to 12 listings, and this is the last one. As of right now, I am completely out. So is the market good here? I would definitely say so. Continuing our discussion on cost of living here in the area, let's talk about housing costs. Right now we're out here in Conway in this development. It's called Reflections, and I just sold this home behind me. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, was built in 2018, and it just sold today for $250,000. An extremely affordable cost in comparison to other parts of the country. If this home was in, say, New York, it would be probably a $500,000 to $600,000 house. New Jersey, the same, or parts of Pennsylvania. Or gosh, if this house was in California, you would probably easily spend $600,000 to $700,000 for the same type of thing. So before we go, I just gotta grab the lockbox and then we'll go on. The other big cost of living in our area that I like to talk about. Whoa, look at that dude. He's like got his tractor halfway in the lake there. Sorry, he's in it. Sorry, got distracted there. It happens. Anyway, let's talk about taxes for a minute on homes, property taxes here in the area. One of the big reasons that people enjoy moving to the Myrtle Beach area is that they're able to save a lot on their property taxes. One thing that is really important to do is once you move here to Myrtle Beach, you need to make sure that you get your taxes adjusted to make your primary residence. If you don't do that, it's going to cost you about 3 times the amount of what it would be if not. So if you buy a home right now, which a lot of people are coming to the area right now and buying their retirement home or their forever home that they're not going to actually move into for probably 3 to 4 years, and they're going to rent it. But during that time, they're going to have to pay a little bit higher taxes, which is not a big deal. Because even if it's your second home or an investment home, you're looking at minimal property taxes in comparison to other parts of the country. So property taxes, if you buy it and it's your second home, let's just say it's a $250,000 home. That, like the one we just saw, that's probably going to be about $2,500 a year for property taxes. Now, once you change it over and it becomes your primary residence and you live here locally and you go down to the courthouse and do all the paperwork and get your driver's license and everything to make you a Myrtle Beach local, we'll just air quote that, Myrtle Beach local, you will then save a bunch of money on your taxes. You can expect that number to drop from $2,500 down to probably about $800 to $900 a year. So you're gonna save a tremendous amount of money. So property taxes in our area are so affordable, especially when you talk to people from around the country. For example, I deal with a lot of people moving from New York, and when they come, I always ask them, hey, how much are your taxes? And they say, oh, well, it's $1,200 a month. And when I say to them, well, how would you like to change that from being a monthly expense to a once a year expense? They about fall over because it's so affordable in comparison to other parts of the country. Continuing on our talk of cost of living, the other thing that's a big factor that you want to know kind of cost of living in the area is groceries. how much does it cost for groceries? And the honest truth is this, they're gonna be about the same as what you're paying probably right now in your area if you're from the Northeast. Now, California and the West Coast, groceries there are a little bit more expensive. I know that from a recent trip out to Portland where things were much more expensive there than over here. But for example, like in our area, you can get a gallon of milk for right under $3 today, and I think that's pretty standard and fair for just about anywhere in the country right now. We were talking about taxes a minute ago and about how much they are in the area and how affordable they are. And I know somebody is going to comment and say, but Jeremy, you have taxes that you have to pay on other things in your area. If I go and buy shoes or go to the grocery store to get stuff, there are taxes on those things that we don't pay in our parts of the country. And you're right. And honestly, I don't know all the details of how it all breaks down and what it all comes to, but what I can tell you is this, based on what I know from living here now for over 20 years. In the long run, you end up coming out much cheaper living here in comparison to other parts of the country. So overall, you might pay taxes for that pair of Air Jordans, but trust me when I say you save way more than that on your property taxes. In addition to groceries, the other thing that you might want to do is go out to grab some bites to eat at places. You know, and I talk a lot of times about local spots to go. Right behind me here is one that is a fan favorite of my family, Dragon Pan. We can get Chinese takeout from this. It's probably some of the best Chinese takeout in the area and feed the family of 5 for about $40 or less. Yesterday, we took a trip after church over to Hanley's, which is an English pub down in the other end of Carolina Forest, and we ate 5 of us, $49 plus tip, extremely affordable. So does it cost a lot of money to go out to eat? Yes, but is it good priced in comparison to other spots in the country? For sure. The key is you gotta find those local spots where you can go get good deals. The children's meals, they were $4.95 a piece. The kids get a drink, a meal, and dessert. They get ice cream, and it wasn't just a little scoop, it was a big bowl of ice cream, all for that $5. So I thought it was extremely affordable and is a great spot to grab food. So if you're wondering, does it cost a lot to eat out in our area? I think it's fairly affordable in comparison to other parts of the country. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video where we talked about the actual costs of living here in the Myrtle Beach area. If you guys enjoy this and want to see more content like this, do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up, get the bell on and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.